Welcome to Safari with Elpida, where we use the art of storytelling to spread hope by building, educating, empowering, training, and healing. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Safari with Elpida, where we use the art of storytelling to empower, to build, to educate, to train, and to provide safe spaces for healing. I don't know if you guys can see the smile, but today I am super excited because of the amazing queen we have who's joining us here tonight. Her name is Nondumiso. Hi Nondumiso, thank you so much for coming. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I think I'm just over the moon just to see you. So I'm excited to have you here. So I want you first to present yourself to our viewers. Who is
Mhm.
Nondumiso? Tell us a bit more about yourself.
Okay, so I must say I'm also eagerly overexcited for this. Like I feel like if I was around you, we'd probably have that moment, when you just like stare at each other and hug again, and be like, ah, and then
Yeah.
smile, hug. So like I'm just, like I wish I was like close in proximity, but anyway, anyway, by the way, thank you so much for having me. I'm really looking forward to this engaging platform. I've been seeing what conversations you guys have been having, and congratulations, by the way, for
Thank
creating
you.
such an engaging and inspiring platform that is full of wisdom, most importantly. So as Rosette has said, my name is Nondumiso Mndebele, and I'm based in South Africa, in Johannesburg, and I am popularly known as the former provincial beauty title holder, Miss Gauteng Exclusive 2019, and I'm also the current ambassador for Africa's top African spa, and of which is called Mangwanani, sorry. And then I would say I'm really passionate about everything women empowerment. I'm also passionate or a lover, a beauty fanatic, and also mental health is something that's really close to my heart. And then professionally, I am in PR and marketing.
I'm just sitting. I'm just gonna let people take it in because you just mentioned a lot of things that you do. I'm like, guys, if you want to log out, I don't know how you want to log out because you just mentioned so much. And I think I want to go back first to your childhood for us to kind of know what built the woman that you are. So how was Nondumiso as a child? How was your childhood for you?
Mm. So I would say my childhood, actually consider myself fortunate and privileged because I grew up in a home where I saw my mom and dad, and I had an older brother who was not frequently around because he was already in varsity. So with almost all my siblings, there's just three of us. We are 6 years apart. So my sister follows me, which is the last one. So I would say I really grew up in a very traditional home. Most importantly, I have to outline that and highlight that, emphasis on that. But however, it seemed like fate or the universe had another different direction for me, because I would say I'm one of the most modernized children that my
Ah.
parents have. So, but then, however, I'm really a firm believer or respect of, or like fully respect culture and tradition, So, I think, of course, that's influenced by my upbringing. We moved to three different cities because of my father's job. So we did quite a lot of house hopping or city hopping, if I can put it that way. That's where I got to be exposed to different languages such as Afrikaans, got to learn that, and later on moved to Johannesburg, where I met the young woman that I am, and who's also constantly evolving, who's on a continuous journey of finding herself.
Mhm. That is so beautiful. And you're talking about where you met the young woman that you are now. Can you talk to us about your business? I know that it is a makeup business, if I'm not mistaken, Indonia Manzi. Maybe you can give us the meaning of the name. How did you come up with the name? And then why? And how old were you when you started this business?
So I do have a business called Nondumiso Makeup. So we offer beauty makeup services for all makeup occasions, um, bridal, matric, any special event or occasion requested. We are there to make sure that you look your best. So I found the business 2018, yes, and I think I was 20 years old. By the way, I'm 24 years old. For those who are interested. So I found it when I was 20 years old. I think I was during my second year in varsity. So how it began, I think it was that era of eyebrows. Remember, I like
Mm-hmm.
eyebrows were gaining momentum, and I just had to be there. I had to also know how to do it. So I got to learn that, and one thing led to another, which is me now being interested in eyeshadow. And next thing you know, I'm doing full on makeup. And one of my what is this? My race members, not race members, race mates that I was staying with
Mm-hmm.
on the same campus, campus resident, actually admired my makeup skills, and she was like, you know what, can you please do me for my graduation? I was like, yeah, sure. And then next thing you know, she brought in another friend, and then it was just from there on, yeah, that's how it took off. So to answer your question, Indoniamans is basically a dark berry, or to be more specific, according to the Zulu idiom, of which is my home language, isiZulu, it's actually a dark berry. But then when we translate it into reality, basically it's the beauty of melanin women.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Yeah.
how it came about. Even though I am light in fair complexion, but then, I mean, my ancestral background, of course, is full of melanin. So I definitely wanted to bring that, and, just, yeah. So from there, going from that era or that moment of doing people in my room, it grew. Then I started getting referrals. Then we got our first TV debut on one of South Africa's popular show, Our Perfect Wedding. So that
Yeah.
just did wonders for us. And so from there on, we've been honored to be trusted with production, being part of like production teams to offer beauty services. And yeah, so it's just been, yeah, that's that.
Wow, that is so amazing. And you started it when you were 20 years old. So can you kind of walk us through like how did you get your makeup set, the application process, all of that? Because I don't know, where did you get that support, should we say financially? How was that for you,
Mhm.
the whole process of putting everything together?
So one thing I can definitely say, and it's something that still stays with me even till today, is that do not despise small beginnings. As I said, it started off with just wanting to learn eyebrows, and I mean, as a student, I was really relying on what my parents gave me as allowance. So I would take that 100 rands per month, go buy that foundation or save for that. And also, YouTube is your best friend, and we had internet, so I took
Mm-hmm.
advantage of that. And so I'm because of YouTube, I can gladly say I am a self-taught makeup artist. So from there on, it's just practicing, asking people, "Can I please use your face? Can you please be my model, muse, whatever the case is?"
Mm-hmm.
So as I said, I would just take from my allowance and build my little kit, buy whatever fitted my budget. But because the more you progress, the more you realize I need the specific type of product, and it can be quite pricey. But then, I mean, like, there's motivation behind it. So that's how I was able to save. Plus, with the clients that I was getting, I'll just take that money, put it away, or go buy that product that I see would amplify my skills and also my work.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if I was there, I would say yes, I will be your muse. I don't know if you remember. I think I once told you, like, do all the makeup you want on me.
Please, please. I'm always like looking for like a muse, somebody to just practice something, because like makeup is a very it's a very evolving and dynamic space. So next thing, this is in, this is out, and you just need to,
Mhm.
learn and practice. And there's never a full stop where you say, I know everything, I'm gonna relax. There is,
Yeah.
yes.
And I feel like as you're talking about that, just about people always evolving and everything, I think
Mm.
almost everything evolves. There's always
Of
change. Can you talk
course.
to us about some of the challenges you've experienced as a business owner and how you've been able to overcome those?
So I think, like everyone else, it's definitely capital. Capital is the biggest, especially if I mean, you don't have any like support,
Mhm.
that really does pose as like a very big challenge. So for me, that was that. And then also I don't know how to um phrase this word, but my reality was that I was also a full-time student. So I mean, school came first, because at the end of the
Mm.
day, that's what brought me in Joburg. So I mean, I sometimes had to let go of clients because I didn't have capacity to meet that. So I did lose out on some opportunities. So that was quite difficult. And what else? Um, I think for me, those were the top two. And then, of course, it was COVID, of which was like the biggest knock. But then it was also a breakthrough in the same time, because funny enough, that's when I got the most clients. Because production now, started to comment, so yeah, it actually worked out in my favor.
Mhm. And
Yes.
I think you kind of answered this question actually, because you mentioned how you would say whenever you had clients, you'd always say to try and build that capital, try and build your makeup kit to make sure you had all the resources you needed to be able to progress in your business. So that is one of the ways in which I think I learned a lot from that as well. Like, don't be
Mhm.
ashamed of the small beginnings and learn how to save. I think we don't save a lot as young people. And you're just saying, hey, I would use my allowance and I would do this and I would do that. I hope people would understand that sometimes it's not easy just starting something and having
It's
everything that you
not.
want.
It's not. Like, I feel like, I mean, that's why I once heard the most profound quote ever. It says that um, the grave, if I'm not mistaken, or the soil or the grave, something along those lines, is one of the richest places in the universe, because it carries so many dreams. So,
Mhm.
I mean, going back to the fact that, I mean, starting is the most difficult. I promise you, you overthink it until you just like, you probably talk yourself out, and you just like,
Yeah.
maybe this is not for me. So yeah, starting is the most difficult with anything, personal life, professional. I promise you, anything. It's just that in business, I mean, everything is saturated. Like, that's why I really don't believe with when people say no, don't try this, because I mean, this market is saturated. Everything is saturated, but then I mean, your work will speak for itself.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Oh, so how does a person grow their business? I think you just showed us the growth that you experienced from starting in a dorm room, and now you're
Mm,
like, hey, production's calling us, we're on
mm,
TV, we're this and we're that.
yeah.
Like, can you speak to us about growth? How can a person grow their business?
Mm. So I'm gonna say this as a PR and marketing professional, guys. Do not sleep on marketing. If you even have the means to take out a loan, I mean, if you're at like a very mid and high level, um, do that. Like, if you need to like get funding or whatever the case is, like, marketing is one of the greatest tools that any business can definitely use. And so, definitely marketing, and you also investing in the knowledge of your skill. Like, I mean, in as much as, I mean, the fact that I had to go to YouTube and learn how to do that, that should tell you something. For those who are able to take short courses, I mean, we now have different, like short online courses that can be found on different search engines, on different online platforms. So for me, like, that's just definitely top two market. You can use your phone. You don't, it doesn't have to be anything fancy, because I just use my phone, and I think looking back at the quality, I cringe. Like, I cringe, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like the quality. But then, I mean, it's humble beginnings, and at that point it felt right. And I mean, look at how that starting point got me at the moment. So use whatever resources that are accessible within your reach. For me, it was definitely what is this, referrals, word to word map. Like, I would always like tell people, hey, by the way, I'm a makeup artist. Hey, by the way, like, I was in their faces, I promise you.
Mm,
And yeah, so that actually played a huge role in assisted word to word, or referrals rather. And okay, word to word, and then from there it became a referral thing, which was great.
mhm,
Then social media as well. I put myself out there, post on Facebook, post on Instagram. So all of those tools. And the nice thing, I mean, as I said, I'll go back to the online platform because of its accessibility. I mean, now you can have Google My Business. Those little steps that show that, you know, you're taking yourself seriously. I mean, I cannot stress on how Google, or like whatever search engine, is everyone's first starting point. That and social media go hand in hand. That I know very well. But then, whatever you do, I mean, bear in mind that we are now in the fourth revolution, of which is fully digitalization all the way. So I mean, it's important to shape your paradigm to like adapt towards you know, the direction of where the world is going. So yeah, I think those would be like my top tips, even though they're not really summarized.
no, I love that you use as well your personal experience in there. So somebody is not just hearing, hey, do this, but they kind of see how you used it in your own life and how it's worked for you. And
Mm.
I don't know if you've heard this term. There's a new term coming out. They're calling it entrepreneurship. And then there's entrepreneurship. I just wanted us to talk a bit about that because I
Mm,
know you're in that.
mm,
And I know that it's a big thing as well for Africa. They've been encouraging young Africans, hey, getting in, hey,
mm.
sorry, get into
Empowering.
entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Now we have this new term coming in, intrapreneurship. Is it
Mm.
possible for you to kind of tell us the difference between those two?
Okay, so from my understanding, I mean, an entrepreneurship is a person who basically invests in their own ideas, materializes it, then it, you know, I mean, it materializes in a formidable business or a venture, whatever you would like to phrase it. And then with entrepreneurship, basically, you take or you offer a company or a business or whatever organization, and you look for innovative ways in which they can obtain new venture opportunities that will bring in profits or whatever goals that are aligned, but then from a business point of view. So that has been my understanding of the whole intrapreneurship and entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tongue
Those
twister.
words. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
tongue twister for
yeah,
sure. Just
it
like
is. It
so
is.
if somebody's at home right now and probably they've been thinking, hey, I want to get into business, I want to be an entrepreneur or an entrepreneur, and maybe they're torn, which one would you advise somebody should go with, or how would you maybe help them with such a decision?
Hmm. So I think first and foremost, we need to understand that there's no right and wrong, especially in this life. There's no manual rules. I promise you. Like I keep on realizing, I keep on realizing this within my own journey of growth. I would just really like to pinpoint that there's no
Mm-hmm.
right or wrong. There's no manual on how to do it. But then all I can say is take take advantage of whatever opportunities are presented to you. I mean, yes, I like this whole movement of people wanting to start their businesses, but then, I mean, it's impossible that we can all be able to start our businesses the same way we all cannot be medical doctors, the same way I cannot sing, the same way, you know. So my thing is, whatever opportunity, whatever resources that can allow you, take advantage of that, whether it be, because like also you need to look at the skills or characters, or yeah, the skills and characteristics that you have, because I mean that's why we have sales people that are found within organizations basically. So to expand on that thought process, I mean, other people are gifted in selling other people ideas through already standing brands or whatever the case is, and that's okay, because I mean that offers stability, of which it goes back to looking at your current situation. What can complement where you are. So that's like another thing that I always say, you know what, if entrepreneurship allows you at the moment, do it, and if it doesn't, then it's okay, it's really okay. I mean, look at myself, I do a 9 to 5. I'm employed in an organization where I offer my PR and marketing services. And then also on the side, I'm a makeup artist. So balance, life has balance. So of course, I mean, I do believe that there gets a point where you need to choose where you follow, you would like mostly invest your time. But of course, I mean, you need to weigh the outcomes of each. So I
Yeah.
don't want to tell a person, go do this. Nope.
Yeah, I think your answer was quite simple. Go for what works for you, your skill sets, your
Mhm.
talent, your knowledge, your resources. Do what
Yeah.
works for you.
So, I mean, I think you know this SWOT analysis. I feel like in this
Mhm.
case, you must just use it. Your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, your threats. Guys, like going to school turns out it was not a waste. Like I keep on realizing it, like then and now you see. But then, yeah, that's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, and as we're talking through that, first of all, can I just mention that you're saying you realize going to school was not a waste? I think so many times when we're young, we're just like so eager to start, and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to do 4 years of school. That's a lot, and it feels like, oh my goodness.
And
And then,
Rosie, hear me well. Hear me well when I say, I mean, you don't have to be stuck at school for like 4 years. I mean, what I'm saying is invest in your skill. Invest, I mean, gather knowledge. I mean, the reality is, I mean, we buy knowledge. Um, and the nice thing with knowledge, no one can take that away from you. I mean, that means even like what, being stuck, or like what is this, enduring 50 hours of a certificate, whatever the case is. Like my thing is, you need to have knowledge with whatever skill that you have, that you utilize and that brings profit or that is of interest to you. So that I'm really like, I'm a firm believer in education. Like it doesn't matter what are you doing, because I mean, even in construction, the most dirtiest job, whatever the case is, but then there's still knowledge that is, you know, that has to be acquired. And I mean, that knowledge, sometimes you have to go buy it, you need to go learn it. The same way I also go to YouTube, I actually take short online courses so that I can just expand my knowledge. So that for me is non-negotiable.
yeah,
Unfortunately.
I love that. I really love that. You've got to have brains, and I think it's very important. As much as we don't see the importance, I think
Mhm.
big people like Nelson Mandela wouldn't be pushing education for no reason. They know the
Mhm.
importance of education, and
Mhm.
so if we can change lanes just a bit, I think it's still in the same route. But you and I met at a pageant called Miss Gauteng Exclusive. I think we've been talking a lot about it already. They should just make us brand ambassadors, official for forever, and pay us free advertising
It's
here.
super easy at the moment.
Yes.
I'll thank them for this one.
I think I'll take a picture and tag them on Instagram and be like, hey guys, watch out, watch out. We need our cash. But I wanted to know what made you participate in the pageant in the first place.
Mm. So till today, I somehow struggle to fully answer that question because I really believe in so many things that drew me to this competition. Um, but my honest truth was that I just wanted something that will empower me, to be honest. And I remember it started off with me persuading presenting because it was something that was of interest to me and I really believed, and I still believe, by the way, I still believe that it's something that I'm really good at. So I decided to actually enroll in a class that will, it's workshop classes, so they offer and teach you practical skills within whatever talent that you have, whether it be modeling, presenting, acting, whatever the case is. So I signed up for what is this presenting. So because I was waiting for the modeling class to finish, and it turns out that I was very early, so the modeling class had actually began. And in there, one of the guest speakers was the current reigning Miss Gauteng Exclusive at that time, of which was Kanyo Shandu. So I was like, wait, I know that girl. I know her from the internet. So I'm like, oh, let me actually go and listen, you know. So as she's talking, I'm just like, no, man, there's more into this woman, this substance. And it can, like, I don't want to say it's because of you know, the sash that she's wearing and stuff, but then it's impossible to be just like this without, I don't know, having a certain without having certain empowerment or whatever backing or platform that has been invested in you. So as I listened to her while she was presenting, I decided to go on Instagram and actually check out the organization. So, and then the one thing that was screaming to me was women empowerment, 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 you know, skills development, career development, and entrepreneurship, you know, the works, basically, all like the values. So, and they resonated with me so deeply. So, and imagine, Rosie, you have this full life proof in front of you that is living, breathing these values. And so you're just like, oh, okay. But then because of what society is, there's this voice or this other part of me that was like, but you don't qualify because of how I look. I mean, I'm curvy, I'm plus size according to the streets of what is this, modeling,
Yeah.
fashion. Yeah, I don't qualify. So yeah, and then after the class, I decided to go to her and share my compliments because she really gave me a touching. She gave a very touching presentation. So, and then as we talk, I'm just like, no man, no man, this is actually quite interesting. And then she tells me, by the way, they actually auditions. You should come and try your luck. And then I'm like, are you sure? She's like, 100%. I mean, we do not discriminate against wage, looks, whatever the case is. And I'm like, I'll think about it. I'll think about it. So me being a serial researcher that I am, did my research. I stalked the living hell out of her. I stalked at the former contestants. I stalked at the pageant. You know, I tried to find every lead, you know. So it was more of like convincing myself. When I look back, I was actually convincing myself that, hey, you actually qualify, not even qualify, there's actually space for you. There's actually space for you. I mean, here's an opportunity, here's a platform that has been given for people that are like you as well, inclusivity. So I was like, you know what? Either way, I'm gonna be trying, or like whatever, like I'm not gonna die or whatever the case is. I mean, like, you know, like the more I grow up again, guys, the more I realize like it's really, like, it has also been like a fear of mine dying with potential, knowing that I never did what I could. Like, I really understand why people are saying that. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go try my luck. Like, I'm just gonna be experience vibes, you know, just to see. And then I get there, speak my heart out. By the way, I couldn't walk to save my life, and I'm sure they saw that. So, um, And by the way, I'm surrounded by beauty queens. So yeah, I mean by that I mean people who more experienced, who have won titles. Um, so it was quite intimidating, but for some reason I was very confident in who I was. So, but anyway, I didn't expect much. As I said, I was like, this was a good experience. Okay, check, you know. Yeah, then I went back there. Next thing you know, a week later or two, or like 2 weeks later, I get a message saying that I've actually made it to the top 100. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't think it was serious. So that's where things became tricky because, mind you, now I have to tell my mom, I have to tell my family that, hey
Mhm.
guys, and I wouldn't have even told them if I didn't need any public vote. Honestly, I would have never. I would have rode with it until I don't know what stage of the competition.
Mhm.
Because trust me, I have like a big chest. I can carry something on my chest. I promise you. So yeah, that's how yeah, that happened. That's how that happened. And so I saw that no man, this platform offers so much than beauty. It offers so much than looks. And it's something that resonated to who I wanted to become. But then I didn't know how to reach to that. But then this platform showed me or offered
Mhm.
that those steps, those yeah, it offered a stepping stone to this person that I keep on envisioning that I can tap into, because clearly it has always been there. I just need to tap into it. So yeah, that's how that happened.
Yeah, and as you're talking, I'm just hearing like your own thoughts and your own process of, hey, would I fit in and everything? And I know I had the same problem. And I think that's why I really love Miss Gauteng Exclusive. I remember once we were coming from the photo shoot and I was all hyped in the house train going back to PTA. And I meet a man, he started speaking to me and he was really interested in me. And so I tell him that, hey, the finals for a pageant is coming up and everything. And he just thought I was just talking about a pageant, the show I'm attending. And I'm like, no, I'm a finalist. And the guy looked at me like, are you sure? I'm
Oh,
like, oh wow. Like
I
he
know, like
couldn't believe it.
I know, especially for the kind of people that we are, like, I mean, sorry, the type of bodies that we have. Whenever I had to explain words, I'm short. At least you are tall. Like, I'm like very short, guys. So imagine now with all these, what is this, deficiencies, if I can put it that way. I now have to explain myself that, hey, there's actually a place where that embraces who I am. So that is, yeah, yeah.
And it wasn't easy. So I actually wanted us to speak just a bit about it for you. How was that experience like for you? I think you kind of touched just a bit as well on it. But how do you think that whole experience was presenting yourself as such a woman who probably society and the pageant world would frown on participating in such a competition?
Hmm. So I think it wasn't it wasn't as scary as most people thought, because and I'm so grateful for the confidence I have. Like, trust me, Rosie, once I've told myself something, there's nothing you can do to change my mind about
Mhm.
it. And especially if my mom has told me that, hey, you actually look good, instill all of this confidence and affirmation in me. There is nothing no one can tell me, I promise you. So going there, I think the greatest thing that I really the one of the greatest traits that we needed for the platform is confidence. So I mean, getting there was just another opportunity to enhance your confidence. So that's what the platform really offered. I mean, there was obviously elements of growth that were in there that were touched upon. I mean, it was different aspects that, I mean, made an ambassador or like a woman becoming, whatever the case is. So, and I remember the day, or like after months, so like I think a month or two, when I sat down with myself to ask myself, what do I want to achieve this platform after winning, by the way. Um, because now I have to have a plan. Like I now need to like step up. I now need to live out this brand and what it stands for. And of course, have that Nondumiso in it so that people can get to know who I am and leave that mark of legacy, of course. So I remember I intentionally told myself that, you know what, there's 3 mountains that I need to conquer. And the first one was myself. And I had already conquered that through my confidence and the confidence that was instilled through the pageants and through the pageant and the series of workshops that just kept on building us and building us. And then two, I had to conquer those who were around me, because I mean, I always say you need to be conscious of who you have around you. I promise you that will play a huge role into your thoughts, your strengths. You know, yes, you are aware of what you have, but then I mean, at the end of the day, you need that supporting system around you. And the fact that I needed to conquer the universe. By that, I mean the naysayers, the other people, like, yeah. So those were three things that I needed to conquer, of which one was already done. Two, I had to review some few people around me, you know, make sure that I bring those who pour into me very closely to me. So that was another thing. And then three, conquering the universe, conquering other people's thoughts, what they think about me, their expectations, and all of those stuff. And that was just achieved by being myself, and of course, sharing a part of myself wherever I could with the projects that I did, with the events that I supported. And yeah, I hope that answers your question.
And as you're talking, yes, it does. I'm just like thinking you're just kind of leading into the next question, into the next step. I was just like, okay, that you did so many initiatives, right? And I know that I loved watching it actually. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at what she's doing and look at where she's going and look at who she's meeting. Ah, you know. So can you tell us a bit more about your mental health advocacy work?
Mm-hmm. So, my mental health advocacy is something that actually began during the finalist journey, as you can remember. And I think for the longest time, I've always been a very conscious about that. It's just that I didn't know how to express it. Have you ever known something, but you just don't know how to express something that resonates with you, but you just don't know how to express it and tap into it? So that was actually like the beginning of everything. And I mean, as a self-aware person, and I continuously dig on myself, of which is something that I really believe that everyone does or should, whatever the case is. So I mean, of course, I was very aware that I would work with a lot of people. So I knew that I had to guard myself. I had to also make sure that I create a safe space for other people as well. So in that's how I think I just gained more interest in mental health. Um, by that, I mean, do more research on the different types of disorders that come with mental health. And, you know, wherever I go, make sure that I always carry carry that knowledge and, of course, creating that space. I mean, I always say that. Um, I really want people to be safe around me. I really want people to feel safe. I really want a person to be themselves, because the minute you are yourself is the minute that, I mean, I think things just flow. Things just really flow. And I mean, to an extent whereby you know that I mean, in the safe space you can talk about whatever the case is. And yes, of course, I have to guard myself, but then because at that moment, I mean, I was a public servant, so I knew that people came before me. It was me before, sorry, it was them before me, of which sometimes did take a toll, because I used to carry a lot. And by the way, I'm an empath, so you can imagine things hit me so hard. So I've had to also in the process learn how to function from that place. And also actually with myself, make sure that I check in on myself too. The same way I pour into others, it's the same way that I need to pour on myself. So guys, I took therapy. I took
Yeah,
therapy,
that's
I
great.
promise you. And like, and I always say that the minute if we as society can see therapy as like another hair appointment, another car service appointment, another dentist appointment. The same way you know that every morning you need to go brush your teeth, the same way you know that you need to do your laundry every week. It's the same way I decided to take mental health. So I really just decided that, you know what, I'm actually going to be expressive about this. I'm going to try to teach people about this. Yes, we have a long way to start, but I mean, a long way to go, especially in South Africa. I mean, South Africa is quite, we're not as aware, like we are considered as a developing country. So you can imagine some other things we haven't get hold of. I mean, we aren't really as amplified or developed as other countries in technology, whatever the case is. And also, I mean, as in African countries, our traditional values are very instilled. And especially in my culture, it's very well known that they say indoda ayikhali, meaning a man doesn't cry. So you can imagine that stigma that lies around, and I mean, it's passed from generation to other generations. And upon my research, I even discovered that the way mental health is very taboo within most South African cultures, there isn't a phrase or a term that acknowledges mental health. And for me, that was an alarm. I was just like, oh, guys, you see. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to take it upon myself. Teach people teach people with the little knowledge that I have, with what I have learned, you know, to be just embracing, to be kind, to be understanding, you know. So yeah, because also I've realized that sometimes it's not that we just do something. Sometimes it's because you don't know what you're doing. You are operating from a place of lack of knowledge. And I mean, you can't be something that you haven't never seen. Like that's my take. So I was like, you know what, this will be quite uncomfortable, because also for me it was uncomfortable, especially in therapy. It would get hectic, Rosie. Like it would get hectic because I now need to confront the darkest parts about myself. I need to confront the broken parts of me. And sometimes it was not even that. It was just more of like checking, where are you? Like, what place are you healing from? Oh, this is going okay. So what do you think? Where do you think you can be better? Basic stuff. You'd be so shocked. We'd even, like, me and my therapist sit down and figure out my schedule, and she'd say, okay, I see you have this and this and this, but then don't you think you'll be overworking yourself? And then this will lead to burnout, and then you won't be present wherever you are. So all of that, it's just little things that contribute to mental health. So that was just like my message, or like my message that that time, especially in my journey of Miss Gauteng Exclusive. And I'm still very much open, and I'm so happy of how far I've got with mental health. At the moment, I am not, is it working? I'm not working, but I'm very in tune. Yes, I'm very in tune with vulnerability. Yes, we now understand what depression, what schizophrenia is, what anxiety is, what postpartum is, you know. But then, I mean, let's look back at where everything stems from. I mean, I don't want to sound like a typical therapist, but guys, they're really true. They're really right when they say, I mean, it all starts somewhere. Everything has a seed, everything has a root, and we need to understand, where does this come from, and why do you act like this? Why do you show up like that? And I've been able to unlock most of these stages. And so, I mean, we live in a society whereby you need to act strong and have it all together, where sometimes you just don't feel like it. So, I mean, so now I'm just learning how to embrace my vulnerability and say, you know what, guys, I had a bad day. I would even write it on my status, say, oh, guys, I had a bad day. I promise you, cry face, whatever the case is. And that's just me being vulnerable. Yes, I mean, there are people who perceive that as weakness. And that's why it's important for you to cultivate the environment of those that you keep around you. Because I mean, those people who are around you will care and ask, are you okay? What's wrong? What happened? But those simple things. And sometimes it's just a matter of, let me be. just let me be. I feel sad. Um, and also other simple practices such as learning to respect other people's mental health. Like, let's say I want to vent, I know, like, I'm very aware that now I need to say, hey, Rosie, how are you? Do you have capacity at the moment to hear me vent, or to receive offload? Because I'm sure that will pour in your spirit as well. So those are like one of the few things where I am, mental health level, if I can put it that way. So yeah, that's where I am. But I'm really enjoying it. Like, the more I grow, the more I just learn about myself, is the more like I just I just make sure I fuel into my mental health.
I think like what I loved from what you were kind of saying, and I was just seeing like everybody having checks and saying, "Oh, I need to go get my hair done, and this is my appointment for this month and everything." And I feel like I really want to have a shirt out that just has that space that says "Mental Maintenance Day." You need to have
Yes,
one
thank
in the month.
you. I know. I had that one yesterday. So flow came in yesterday. My period started, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do anything today. I'm just gonna let myself be. I'm gonna sit. I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna do whatever I want that makes me happy. And in that process, I'm just gonna check in with myself. Where are you? How do you feel? Yes, you have these extra hormones that are obviously tempering with your natural, or yeah, like with your natural, is it
Yeah,
natural?
your usual self.
Yes, my usual functioning, but they just like try to be very rational about this, you see. So yeah, and then whatever I do, like, it might sound selfish, but like, I really put me first and try to like check in with myself. Are you okay with doing this? Do you want to do this? So yeah. But
Yeah,
mental health day.
hmm Yeah, we definitely need that. And I think for me, I was very grateful with Miss Gauteng Exclusive. I think they opened up my eyes to mental
I
health.
know,
Because when
right?
they gave us those things for the photo shoot and they were like, hey, we're going to have a whole campaign on social media. And I was like, what are these people talking about mental health? Like,
Mhm.
how weak of them. I remember I was just feeling like, I'm not feeling this. And then
This is
I
not for
read,
me.
I
I
felt like it was
know.
not for me. And then I read the illness they gave me. It was PTSD with Warabile. And I was like,
Yes.
wait a minute. Wait, they can't be describing me here. Wait.
I
I'm
know, right?
like, oh.
I know, because I also remember saying, "Oh my gosh, are you talking to me right now?" Like, I remember I was just like, "Yo, I don't know what more science does a person need." Because all of those stuff, you realize that, man, this has actually happened to me. It's just that I
Yeah.
didn't know how to describe it. Like, and I think so many times when you talk to people, they're like, "Yeah, that actually happened to me. You just didn't know you didn't know what label to put to it." So
hmm And that's why I think the whole part of you educating people about it and just talking about it and saying, hey, this is what this is. As long as somebody knows, oh, this is what
mm,
this is. And I think Kanyo as well
mhm.
explained the same thing in her blog when she wrote for us a blog saying that she also went through her own things and was like, she didn't really know a name. The more education that is out there, I believe is very helpful because then people start knowing and noticing like, oh, probably, yeah,
Information. Mhm.
definitely. And there is a lot. I hope we'll be able to cover everything. If we're not,
I
then people, you have to
wonder.
go follow her or like pay us millions and we'll have a part two for you guys.
Yes, I like millions. Manifesting candle emojis.
But I did want to speak a bit about your ambassadorship opportunities. I know that currently you're an ambassador for Aspire, and you did speak a bit about that. And
Mhm.
that came after Miss Gauteng Exclusive. And I know you're an ambassador as well of a museum, if I'm not mistaken, as Miss Gauteng Exclusive. So can you kind of
Mm.
just touch a bit on that, and then we'll see how we can move on to the other questions for you.
All right. So at the moment, I am an ambassador for Mangwanani African Spa, of which is Africa's largest spa. So essentially, they offer spa services like different spa treatment. services there. Trust me, it's always a ball, guys, going there. Like, it's one of the few things that like make me excited. It's really like, I promise you, like, I get so happy and excited. You see, the same way when a child goes into a candy store, or like the toy aisle, yeah, like the toy aisle. That's how I feel whenever I go there, because I know that like I'll just walk out feeling better, like super better. So that happened during COVID in 2019. Yes, 2019. So that happened in that space. um yeah, I had to do auditions like everyone else, and by the grace of God, I was selected as one of the ambassadors. So essentially, I am an ambassador and I create some really dope content.
Mhm.
I create some dope content upon my visit at the spa, show people the different offerings that Mawanani has. And guys, like, hear me well when I say I'm not lying about anything. I know I've been with so many paid partnerships. There's a spin that is involved, and yeah, I don't know how to express it, but then yeah. Like, I think I'm even thinking about like a recent spot treatment I had not so long ago, but then it's a really nice space. I mean, they like bring Africa to you. I mean, we are in the city, so sometimes you just want to woosa, and it's just that place, the aura, the oils that they use, it's just the sensation, like it's really anyway. Anyway,
You're making us dream already.
please. And then I think you mentioned for a museum.
What is
I
the
think
National Museum with Miss Gauteng Exclusive? What were you an ambassador for?
I can't
What?
remember. There was a lot that was happening that trip,
Yeah, I feel
but
like
I
you
think,
really had a lot.
yeah, there's a lot of partnerships and sponsorships that were within my year of reign that exposed me to so much ambassadorship. So I think that ended in 2019. Yeah, that ended. But I'm not gonna lie, almost every ambassadorship or like brand opportunity that I've had, hear me well when I say Miss Gauteng Exclusive paved the way. Yeah, I'll just leave it there.
Yeah. And I think it's just amazing to see how you were able to take an opportunity, because I know like sometimes you're presented with opportunities or you're put in a certain platform and it's for you to grab
Mm,
certain opportunities or to walk into certain doors or
mm,
cultivate certain relationships. And it's just
mm.
nice to see that you were able to be put there and you're like, hey, I am going to utilize everything here. I'm going to drain you
Yeah,
guys out.
always.
I'm not
Thank
leaving
God.
empty.
Trust me, there's something that has to come out. And sometimes it might not be tangible.
Mhm.
Sometimes it can be in a soft growth. Like I mean, I've been honored to see or to engage with almost every class. Of Miss Gauteng Exclusive. And I always stress on the fact that, guys, I promise you, like, even for me, winning, because I realized that I actually want to win when we're in the top five. That's when I was like, okay, this would be nice. That would be nice. But all along, I was really content, because of how much I had acquired when it came to growth. What was poured in me, it's bigger than a crown, or like what is just a crown. Yes, so essentially, because I mean, I look at the confidence that has been instilled, like you can go knock on any door, like you just have this unstoppable thing about your attitude. So I always stress on that. So I mean, you have to use whatever has been poured to you, and that is yours forever, because that has been transferred as knowledge. So
Mhm.
now you need to make sure that you utilize it.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. And as we're trying to round up sweetly, can we talk a bit about self-esteem and probably I think you also touched a bit on it as well, the industry. And I think maybe one thing we didn't really touch on that I hope we can touch on quickly is the
Mm,
importance of inclusivity.
Mm,
I think so many people are trying to be inclusive. I think for me, some people are probably just hopping on the trend, and I don't know if after the trend will they still be as inclusive of all body
mm,
types and skin color and all of that. But why do you think it's important for the fashion industry, the entertainment industry, that is, to be inclusive, especially when it comes to body size and how people look
mm.
like?
Mm. So I would just firstly like to say, I feel like we're heading in the right direction. We are now making noise about the uncomfortable conversations. We are now questioning stuff. Why isn't this done? Why is it like that? Why is it supposed to be like that? Challenging stereotypes, challenging rules apparently that have always been there. I mean, especially the standards, the beauty standards, because I mean, beauty is a very vast thing, and I don't think that you can limit it. I mean, you look at arts, there's different types of arts: abstract, contemporary, this, that, still art. There's just different, and like at the end of the day, it's seen as beauty. And that's the same way we as human we are different. And I mean, so there must be, I mean, like that diversity needs to be honored, this needs to be celebrated. Most importantly, like there's no way that we can just only accept one thing, if I can put it that way. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, so that's why I'm saying I would like to firstly just recognize the conversations that are stirring from this. And I mean, with inclusivity, like I said, that we as people, we are different. We are built, made differently. We have different offerings. And just because I don't look the certain way doesn't mean that I do not belong, because I have more to offer. There's more that's within me than what looks. So, I mean, that's where the whole conversation of not judging each other extends to. It's just not only, no, don't judge me and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No, don't also like limit me, because
Mm-hmm.
basically that's what you're saying. You limiting my abilities. You
Yeah.
limiting you are gatekeeping my potential. Is what you're doing. So one thing, like I really appreciate how we are knocking on those doors. We're actually pushing. We are buying those buildings that they actually have been closed.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't agree more in like different industries embracing or or just promoting inclusivity. I've seen what inclusivity I've seen what inclusivity has done for me through Miss Gauteng Exclusive, and it's something that I'd like to see for another person. I think I touched, or I said earlier on, that sometimes you cannot be what you have never seen. So we need representation. I mean, I believe like when Zoe won Miss Universe, like there was just something that was unlocked. I don't know what happened, but then I mean, like she said that she wants their faces reflected. And I mean, it's those little things, like it'd be so shocked what representation can do for one individual. And I mean, if we are gonna live up to being our ancestors' wildest dreams, then it starts with little things, not even little. Like, why are we even like begging to be accepted? Why? So it's all of that that just makes you question. So I mean, we made differently. We need to be accepting. Like accepting also means having space for everyone, inviting everyone in it. It can't be like the cool girls club only. No, it can't be. I mean, and like the world is changing. The world is changing. It's changing for the good, but then representation matters, and that's
Mm-hmm.
why inclusivity is important in that.
Yeah, and as you're talking about that, I know we kind of touched as well on this question, but maybe I'm going to switch it just a bit. Where
Mhm.
you spoke about your own, how you've kept your surroundings good to help yourself with your confidence and your self-esteem. But what about somebody who's probably having some troubles or challenges
Mm,
with their
mm,
self-esteem? How would you maybe help a person, give them a word of encouragement or some advice on
mm,
how they can tackle low self-esteem?
mm. So the first thing I really want the person to know is that you it's okay if you do not have confidence. Like, it's really okay. Um, a part of who I am has been affirmations, 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 affirmations. So, I mean, the minute you pour inside you, because like the biggest work is on the inside, Rosie. I promise you. Makeover takes how many hours? 12 hours, 6 hours. You'll be good. We do shopping. We change the hair, the color of your hair. We change we get you eye contact lenses. You'll be good. Like brand new Rosie, done. But then, I mean, the biggest work. I mean, that's why even therapy for some of the people takes 10 years. Like that's how long it takes. But then, all I want to, or I would really like to stress on, is to affirm yourself. Affirm yourself and say, I'm beautiful. And I mean, you need to, like, that takes time, but also you need to have that mindset to say, I deserve to feel beautiful. I deserve to be seen. I deserve this. I deserve to be in that platform. If not me, then who? Because I mean, yes, exactly. So, I mean, everyone deserves to feel good. Everyone deserves to feel beautiful. Do you know that feeling when you're walking out the door and you're like, today today is the day. It's something that you're supposed to feel even when you're in your PJs and you're waking up and you see that you're having a breakout, but you're just like, you know what, I love the skin I am in. Like, and you need to also, like, I mean, there's different ways of also, how do I put this, amplifying what's the, I mean, if that means that you want to start wearing makeup, whatever that will make you feel good. Please stay away from substance. I'm not promoting substance, because I mean, other people will now think drinking, whatever that will like enhance your beauty is what I'm saying. Whatever way that feels like you're expressing and enhancing yourself. For some people that looks like fashion. That's why you get this cool fashion where you're just like, I don't know if I'd be able to wear that. If that speaks to you, do that. If that means your hair, do that. But all I'm saying, that the first step that you need to do is do the work that's inside. Affirm yourself. And by affirming yourself, you need to believe what you're saying. Say that every day. And guess what? Rome wasn't built in one day. So will the affirmations. I still do them every day. Trust me, I don't feel like it, but I'm going to show up. That's what's going to happen. Two, enhance your confidence, whatever that means. Like I said, that can mean maybe doing makeup, maybe changing your style, whatever that makes you feel good about yourself. Sometimes that means eating clean. For other people, I promise you, like for other people, it means going to gym, whatever that makes you feel good. And all I can say is, the third one is, be mindful of what you feed into your mind, especially for me, that is social media. I mean, you can't be following bloggers who trash celebrities and stuff and all of that. I mean, find people that, you know, that actually reflect who you want to be. And I promise you, like, that just subconsciously unlocks that power within you. So that's what I would definitely say.
Yeah, and this is probably going to be my second last question. I feel like you've just been dropping gems, but can you please leave a word of encouragement for anybody who's been listening to us today? If they haven't had any encouragement from all the questions and all the discussions, what word of encouragement would you drop for anybody listening to you? A young girl, a young boy, an old man, an old woman, anybody?
Now I'm thinking about myself. I promise you. I promise you. I think one of the most, what is this? Because lately I keep on, like, I don't know, Rosie, but remember as a child how fearless you were. Like, and I think for me, like, I just want to say, tap into the inner child in you, that inner child that believed that the sky is the limit, that child that believed in themselves, that would take her mother's heels with them, that child would actually, you know, drive the car, whatever the case is. Like, I feel like there was just less fear. And I feel like the more we grow up, I mean, there's rejection. And like for me, that has been like a thing, because you knock doors, you want to get this. It's just like, mm-mm. So I feel like that also tempers, with our faith, with our belief, with our confidence, with our esteem, is that, like tap into that inner child. And I mean, understand that you working on yourself is going to take time, but then do not give up on yourself. Don't give up on yourself, whatever that looks like. Just do that and believe within yourself. Believe within yourself, affirm yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But be fearless in everything you do. Be fearless is the word. Yeah, fearless is the word. Yeah.
I took it for myself too. I think I was just like,
I'm also taking it for myself.
So if anybody has been watching and they're just like, you know what, I want more of this girl, I want to know more about her, or I want to follow her, I want to stalk her, I want to be a fan, how can people get in touch with you and what you do?
So I am active. Yes, I'm active on Instagram. I'm active with Instagram. It's at Nondumiso _Mndebele. I hope Rosie will actually insert it somewhere.
Yes.
Somewhere, just somewhere. I trust in Rose's skills that she'll just do that. And then I'm also on Facebook. It's Nondumiso Mndebele the second, of which is just 2 capital I's. Yeah. That's
right.
what I'm active. Yeah, I'm not in TikTok. Twitter, I have an account, but it's for work purposes. And I can't share it. I don't have
We'll take what you gave us, Instagram and Facebook. We'll have it down on the description below as well for people to kind of get in touch with that. As we come to the end of our session, we just have a little quick this or that question. I know it feels like it was 5 minutes.
Oh, I wonder what is the director saying. How many minutes we on? Okay.
Yeah, hopefully everybody would have enjoyed this. I know I did. I learned a lot and I was just amazed at the wisdom you had. So if we have to quickly play a this or that question, the first one would be make foundation or eyelashes?
Eyelashes.
Ooh. Would you go for a purse or a handbag?
Handbag. I carry things. Yeah.
Are you the indoor or outdoor type?
Indoor. Indoor.
You look uncertain.
Yes, but I like the lights. But just when it comes inside. People need to go stand outside. I don't know. No. Sun, not so much. But I like it. I like that the sun is there. Hear me well.
Just it should come into the house.
Not me standing outside now. Sun burns, making memories. Yes, but no.
All right. And book or movies? I know that was quite difficult, even when I came up there. I'm like,
So at the moment, I don't know why, but my capacity or my attention span is very little. So I would go for movies for now. But by default, I'm a book person. Default settings book. But my attention span at the moment is failing me.
All right, so we'll go with movies for now, momentarily. Movies.
Yeah.
And the last one would be chocolate or vanilla, though I feel like I know your answer for this one. Yeah.
Chocolate. You can keep your vanilla. You can keep your vanilla. I promise you. Like I always say that. If I have food, I'll give you everything except for chocolate. Like that, I would give you.
Thank you. I'm really happy we got to speak. Thank you so much for joining us today, Nondumiso. Thank you to everybody who tuned in. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment below, share if you found this useful, and also follow Nondumiso on all social media platforms. From us, it is good night or good morning from wherever you are.
Right? So I was just about to say, sis, what do we say? Yeah, but then yeah, thank you so much for having me. Really enjoyed it. And yeah, best of luck. I wish you so much growth and prosperity and success
Thank you.
within the channel, everything you do. And I can't wait for you to have so much money so that you fly me in there.
Yeah.